This dark psychology test reveals how twisted your mind really is. Part 1. Many people believe that the most dangerous criminals, those who commit the most extreme acts, are born that way. But the truth is far more complex. Modern science shows that nothing is purely black or white. Environment, trauma, personality, and even biology all play a role. Tonight we are going to take a dark psychological test. The questions may sound simple, but behind every answer lies research, studies, and real statistics. And while you take the test, we'll also analyze what science says about the path that can push a human mind toward extreme thoughts and actions. Are you ready? Let's enter the darkest place of all, the human mind. Before the test, let's understand the science behind criminal psychology. Psychologists use the DSM-5, a diagnostic manual that describes personality disorders. One of the most dangerous is antisocial personality disorder. People with this condition often show a lack of empathy, manipulativeness, impulsivity, and risky behavior. But are they born this way, or are they shaped by their environment? A study from the University of Radford revealed that most individuals who later commit extreme crimes experienced deep trauma in childhood, abuse, neglect, or social isolation. Interestingly, about 1% of the population shows psychopathic traits, but only a small fraction of them ever become violent criminals. It is the combination of genetics and environment that lights the fire. Now, let's begin the test. Remember, this is not a diagnostic tool, but it is inspired by elements of the Hare psychopathy checklist, used by experts to measure psychopathic traits. Keep track of your answers. At the end, you'll see where your mind stands. Question 1. Late at night, you are home alone, and suddenly you hear footsteps in the hallway. What do you do? A. Go check. B. Hide and wait. C. Ignore it. D. Leave the house immediately. People who choose B or C often show stronger protective mechanisms, while those who choose A or D are more impulsive. Impulsivity is strongly linked to antisocial behavior. Question 2. When you see someone in pain, how do you usually react? A with sympathy, B with indifference, C with curiosity. According to the Journal of Abnormal Psychology, individuals who feel little or no empathy, those who would pick B or C, are far more likely to develop antisocial tendencies. Question 3. How often have you lied purely for personal gain? Rarely or never. B. Often. Chronic lying is a classic trait of manipulative personalities. The FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit found that most serial offenders were skilled manipulators and liars. Question 4. When watching a horror film, who do you identify with the most? A. The victim trying to survive. B. The investigator searching for the truth. C. The mysterious entity or spirit. D. The villain. People who identify with the villain often display what psychologists call a dark mindset. This doesn't mean they're dangerous, but it does reveal a fascination with the logic of antagonists. Question 5. How do you view social rules? A. As necessary limits. B. As barriers that can be broken if it benefits you. Many antisocial personalities see rules not as guidance, but as obstacles to be overcome. Now, let's see the results. Mostly a balanced, empathetic personality. Mostly B. Antisocial tendencies, but not necessarily criminal. Mostly C or D. Strong psychopathic markers such as lack of empathy, desire for control, and fascination with darkness. But what do the real cases tell us? Ted Bundy was charming and intelligent, yet tests revealed a total absence of empathy. Jeffrey Dahmer grew up in trauma and isolation, with disturbing fantasies that grew over time. Eileen Wuornos, one of the few female serial offenders, was shaped by severe childhood abuse and neglect. The FBI reports that 70% of extreme offenders had histories of abuse in childhood. 50% struggled with substance addiction, and 90% displayed strange behaviors as teenagers, such as cruelty to animals or extreme isolation. These are not just horror stories. These are facts, showing that darkness often begins early. This test is not about labeling you. It is about showing a deeper truth. The human mind always carries two sides, light and shadow. Most people suppress or ignore their darker thoughts. That's normal. Psychology tells us that almost everyone has disturbing or even violent thoughts at some point, but only a tiny percentage will ever act on them. Studies show that 80% of people admit to having had aggressive or dark thoughts, but less than 1% would ever turn those thoughts into action. What makes the difference are the protective factors. Love in childhood, strong emotional bonds, a healthy community. These are shields against the pull of darkness. On the other hand, lack of empathy, early trauma, and isolation are a deadly combination that can push someone over the edge. Psychologists often say, we are not born as monsters. But under the wrong circumstances, the human mind can become something unimaginable. So the real question after this test is not, do I have dark thoughts? Because we all do. The real question is, how much control do I have over my own darkness? And will I use it as energy for something good, or will I let it control me? That's why the story of the human mind is more terrifying than any ghost story. Movies end, but your mind is always with you. So tell me, what did your answers reveal? Did your mind lean more toward the light, or toward the shadows hiding within? Share your results below, and let's see how many of us are ordinary thinkers, and how many walk a little closer to the darkness.
Subscribe for a mind rush.